Well, thanks for tuning into the market wrap. And you have to say that the close of the day was almost equal to how the day started. In between, we had glimpses of some pressure points and some better performance as well. But we ended lower, 1.1.5 or slightly over 1.5% lower, 1.6 or 1.7%, 1.68% to be precise, if I'm not wrong, for the Nifty. Should come up on your screen. And losses galore. You will see there. The clutch of names participated. The fact that you had only two gainers tells you the story. And I think the broader markets too would reflect this. But quickly, first, talk about the index. Save for Maruti, nothing worth talking about. Z kind of, okay, hangs out a little bit. But IT got beaten down. Banks, of course, got beaten down badly in the session today. But mind you, considering the scare that we had from the Dow and the S&P, this was actually a much better performance. You have to bear in mind, viewers, that the world markets were doing okay when we shut shop. The Dow futures had reversed losses, and therefore Monday could be, well, maybe a slightly different day. But first, what happened at the broader end of the spectrum? The market breadth would be negative, I would reckon, compared to all the other days. It won't be in the positive. The number of decliners would be higher than the number of stocks which have moved up in trade there. 79 stocks advancing to 420, declining on the Nifty 500. IFB Industries had an interesting move, 13-14% higher. That aside, some auto comps like Jamna, etc., did okay. Dish TV's been on a circuit now from 3 rupees to 12 rupees. Is something quite brewing there. IRB Infra had some gains, but those are few and far in between. A lot of very prominent names corrected quite strongly today. So Adani Green Energy down about 5%. I can understand the future group stocks continue to slide lower. We warned you about them. Metal stocks like JSPL, etc., corrected a bit. AU Small Finance Bank corrected a bit. And mind you, Idea Cellular, Vodafone Idea at the bottom of your screen, down about 4% as well on the day of the board meet, where everybody was excited about a day before and took the stock up 30%. It ended about 4% lower. So net, not the best of days. Before we talk about the globe, let's get in Nikki in to talk about what is she observed from amongst a bevy of stocks which have moved around in trade. Nikki, good afternoon. A large cap, mid cap, everything fell off.
Yeah, but I've picked up something which is positive. I'm going to start off from that. Credit Access Government, where you had an initiation report coming in from CLSA. The stock did extremely well in trade today, 3.5% gains. CLSA came with a target price of around 840 and said that at this point of time, the company is going to be better placed to capture the India MFI opportunity. It's got a good customer-centric business module, and of course, MNC parentage is also at play. Apart from that, the premium valuations of the company are likely to sustain given the kind of market leadership position that the company is enjoying right now. Second in my list is Jubilant FoodWorks, where there have been 3 downgrades coming in from foreign brokerages, be it in terms of CLSA, Morgan Stanley, and HSBC. All of them have downgraded the stock. HSBC had downgraded it to hold from buy earlier with a target price of nearly 2,200. It said that at this point of time, Jubilant has already recovered more than 75% from its March low, even as the operating performance shows a market recovery. But then the valuations at this point of time, they're extremely rich, and they kind of don't factor in the lower CAGR that the company could see at this point of time. So clearly, there's not a risk-reward ratio that most of the brokerages are seeing between the valuation and the earning potential of the company. Third in my list, of course, is a bunch of auto names out there. Maruti Suzuki, the last time I checked, saw some gains, but most of the auto stocks were down and out in trade. The government is going to be releasing automotive mission plan in 10 days. Apart from that, we also have a copy, where we've discussed about how this, monthly sales number for August vehicle registration at least have been nice, turned out, have shown some amount of recovery. But then what's really bothering at this point of time is the overhang that we are expecting some amount of announcement coming in terms of the GST cut. Some of the speculation is that even if the GST cut does come through, it will be implemented at a later stage. Some of the speculation says that the GST cut might just not come through. So there are 2 base of arguments in this sector at this point of time, and probably some amount of pressure weighing down on the entire sector. But also what dragged the markets lower was Nifty Bank Index, especially where the rebalancing is expected to take place on September 7. It's going to be effective then. And last minute, you saw some changes or adjustments which took place on account of that. Obvious hit, or the maximum hit, was seen by Axis Bank, and that was followed, of course, at least when it comes to the outflows by SBI. Bandhan Bank on the opposite, on the flip side, is expected to see some amount of inflows coming in after the rebalancing act on September 7th. So clearly, Bandhan Bank is the only one which is the lone gainer on the index as a whole. But net not a great good day of trade, I'd say.
Not at all. Nikki, thanks so much for that. And, just before we wrap up, because it's pointless talking about what direction the market will move, suddenly the cues have turned a bit somber. People's quotes on the market have turned a bit skittish. But do keep in mind that the European indices, when we at least shut shop at about 330, 345, were trading in the green, and the Dow futures had reversed losses. And therefore, Monday morning, as I said at the start of this piece, could be a slightly different day than what the one looked like today. Let's wait and watch. Keep in mind, IDEA might react a bit on Monday morning to any kind of announcement that comes in out of its fundraising board meet. So that is an important stock, and we'll watch out for the metal names as well, courtesy what the world will do over this, the US markets will do in their session today. So, well, do watch out for that. Nikki, have a great weekend, and thanks for joining in. And to all of you who've joined in, from Nikki, me, and the team that put this piece together, thanks so much for watching.